We begin this edition of Terry Kurtz Online with two of the top stories of 2024, reports that deal with topics from our bad and worst categories. How bad are Victorville drivers? How about second worst in the nation? Victorville motorists have been ranked the second worst in the entire nation in the latest Consumer Affairs study. The report, published by Consumer Affairs, looked at the latest available U.S. Department of Transportation and National Highway Traffic Safety Administration data and compared the rates of crashes involving factors such as bad driving, DUI, and speeding per 100,000 people in cities across the U.S. After analyzing each category, the study authors assigned each city a crash score. Well, with a score of 64, Victorville was surpassed only by Memphis, Tennessee, at 77, according to the report. Victorville drivers are among the worst in the country, in part due to the high number of traffic deaths involving alcohol. In 2022, Victorville had the second highest number of fatalities involving a driver with a positive blood alcohol amount. Victorville also had the fifth highest number of fatalities linked to speeding. The city of San Bernardino followed behind Victorville at number 4 in having the worst drivers. According to the recent study, San Bernardino was the only other California city to make the dishonor roll this year. In the previous year's statistical analysis, Victorville ranked 7th and Hesperia drivers ranked 8th. In addition, the Consumer Affairs report stated the 15 freeway through San Bernardino County is the deadliest road in California. At the state level, California was ranked at 33rd in the nation. The 5 states with the worst drivers were Montana, followed by New Mexico, South Carolina, Wyoming, and Arkansas. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department has received nearly $2 million in grants to support its ongoing enforcement and education programs and to upgrade alcohol testing instruments in the Sheriff's Crime Lab. The California Office of Traffic Safety awarded a $1,130,000 STEP grant to go towards supporting its ongoing enforcement and education programs that are aimed at helping reduce the number of serious injuries and deaths on our roads, motorists, their passengers, and pedestrians alike. An additional $660,722 grant was awarded, the funding to go to replacing outdated alcohol testing instruments. Additional programs and resources including more DUI checkpoints, and patrols focused on stopping suspected impaired drivers. Funding for these programs was provided by a grant from the California Office of Traffic Safety through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Victorville is one of 3 cities in San Bernardino County that have been identified as leading areas in the state for the proliferation of unserialized firearms or ghost guns. This alarming trend highlights the growing concern over untraceable firearms that are increasingly being used in criminal activities and used against law enforcement officers throughout the county. In the California Department of Justice's annual Crime Gun in California report, 168 ghost guns were confiscated in Victorville. San Bernardino's 319 ghost guns seized is 4th highest. Victorville's number is 8th. Fontana is 10th on the list. Ghost guns are firearms assembled from kits or 3D printed parts without serial numbers. They pose significant challenges for law enforcement agencies across the state because they bypass traditional legal firearms measures, making them nearly impossible to track. The surge in ghost guns has correlated with an increase in violent crimes within our county, including attempted murder of law enforcement officers. Keep up with Victor Valley and High Desert local news by watching KVVB TV Channel 33 daily newscasts, breaking news updates. Victorville City Council member convicted. Joseph W. Brady's insight and analysis.
The inflation that we've seen, the pricing that we've seen, I think it's here to stay. I don't see it rolling back at all.
Video sports, action highlights of high school and Victor Valley College sports. KVVB TV local newscasts, televised 8 times daily, available on Roku and Amazon Fire. KVVB TV Channel 33. A multi-agency law enforcement task force targeting train robberies across Southern California has resulted in over 50 arrests and a recovery of $8 million worth of stolen cargo, including 20 stolen vehicles. The case was spearheaded by the San Bernardino County Auto Theft Task Force, SANCAT. The months-long investigation served a series of search warrants throughout San Bernardino, Riverside, and Orange counties, as well as one location in Arizona. The raids were part of a complex investigation involving numerous stolen vehicles and miscellaneous cargo stolen from trains. 51 suspects were arrested during the wide-ranging operation. Authorities recovered 20 stolen vehicles, seized 20 firearms, 48 gallons of liquid methamphetamine, and 425 pounds of crystal methamphetamine. In addition, one clandestine methamphetamine lab was located, and $325,000 in U.S. currency and over $8 million in stolen cargo was recovered. This special edition of TKOL, Top Stories of 2024, is brought to you by Down Home Grill. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, or dine-in at Bid Fast and Last, world-class auctioneers. Volume Quality Truck Body, family-owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest-standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Zach Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville, the Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the High Desert, and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley. The United States Marshals Service report the location and rescue of 200 missing or endangered children over a recent 6-week period. Operation We Will Find You focused on several hotspot cities where children were reported missing. With technical assistance from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 123 children were removed from dangerous situations and 77 were found in safe locations. The U.S. Marshals Service has run the We Will Find You operation 6 times previous to this one, and so far it's located 546 children in 2024, which is a higher number than last year at this time, but lower than the nearly 950 children recovered in 2021. State officials have been given authority to order the dismantling of thousands of homeless encampments across California by way of a mandate declared by Governor Gavin Newsom. The move comes in the immediate aftermath of a recent Supreme Court decision that gave local and state governments more latitude to remove people experiencing homelessness from their streets. While the governor cannot force cities and counties to dismantle homeless encampments, the decree is advising local authorities the best way to take action. The directive will order other state agencies, such as Caltrans, California State Parks, and the Department of Fish and Wildlife, to first target encampments that pose a health and safety risk. Those agencies will give 48 to 72 hours of advance notice to people in the encampments while working with local homeless organizations to help those experiencing homelessness. Personal property collected at each site will be bagged, tagged, and stored for at least 60 days. The new directive is said to have very little effect on Victorville. The city's policies are already in line with the executive order. The outreach conducted by Victorville's Homeless Engagement Team and the wraparound services the new Wellness Center provides are significant aspects of the approach to reducing homelessness and minimizing the negative impacts homelessness can have on our community. Encampments can present threats to public health and safety and are prohibited by the Victorville Municipal Code. Enforcement action is taken in sensitive areas such as schools, transportation hubs, parks, government facilities, waterways, and homeless shelters. Victorville is one of 7 cities in San Bernardino County whose homeless encampment represents 3/4 of the unsheltered population countywide. The 2024 San Bernardino County point-in-time count report revealed homelessness has increased for the 5th consecutive year, although this year's increase was the smallest in the last 5 years. Since 2018, the number of homeless individuals in San Bernardino County has more than doubled from 2,118 to 4,255 in 2024. Approximately 75% of the homeless population is concentrated in San Bernardino, Victorville, Colton, Fontana, Redlands, Ontario, and Barstow. In its most recent day-long canvass of Victor Valley encampments, the Community Service and Reentry Division Homeless Outreach Proactive Enforcement Team contacted over 24 unsheltered individuals. The team provided 20 individuals with referrals to programs for assistance. 6 individuals were linked with follow-up professional services. San Bernardino County Fire Protection District Chief Dan Muncy was among 5 public safety leaders to receive the First Net Authority Patriot Award. A public safety veteran of over 30 years, Muncy was recognized for his leadership skills in using First Net to make county communities safer. Muncy serves as fire chief and fire warden of the San Bernardino Fire District and chairs the International Association of Fire Chiefs Technology Council, working with his peers and the fire community to integrate technology into the fire service. The First Responder Network Authority, or the First Net Authority, is an independent agency within the U.S. Department of Commerce's National Telecommunications and Information Administration that oversees FirstNet, the nation's communications network dedicated to emergency responders and the public safety community. Established in 2023, the Patriot Award honors trailblazers in public safety for their innovative use of broadband technologies to protect and safeguard their communities. Recipients represent emergency communications, emergency management, law enforcement, and national security public safety communities, as well as fire service. A story of a hometown hero. Megan Jastrab of Apple Valley, first high desert athlete to be an Olympics medalist. Megan Jastrab, a 19-year-old cyclist from Apple Valley, won a bronze medal at the Tokyo Summer Olympics. Megan and her U.S. cycling team won bronze in the women's team pursuit, having also set a national record earlier in the Games. Megan Jastrab was homeschooled in Apple Valley. She attended Milligan University in Tennessee. Today, at the time of this report, she races professionally for UCI Women's World Team. But Megan Jastrab's story has taken dramatic twists and turns, from the heights of success to a devastating low point, and how she has persevered and serves as a powerful example to athletes of all ages. 3 years after winning bronze at the 2020 Olympics, she was having an outstanding spring in 2023, gaining the podium in 3 major races. And then things took several turns for the worse. A series of setbacks, including a crash, a fall, and an illness, was climaxed when she was struck by a car in December 2023, 5 days before starting a race in Spain. She suffered a fractured pelvis and a torn gluteus medius, injuries requiring rehab and time to heal. She was, nevertheless, hoping to be back racing around mid-March of 2024, but that proved to be overly optimistic. Things moved more slowly than expected. She spent several weeks in the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. She said, "As an athlete, you want to be back on the bike doing max efforts and getting back to racing as soon as possible, but with this injury and the glute muscle tear, it's more of a slow build because I'm still not allowed to do sprints or max torque efforts. My goals were definitely the spring classics this year. Since those have been removed from my schedule due to injury, my focus shifts to just getting back to racing now. The biggest goal at the moment is being healthy and being cleared medically to race again, to just get back to it." Our area's hottest summer on record has been accompanied by a series of earthquakes, jarring jolts, and rolling aftershocks felt throughout the greater Southland. The largest earthquake at the time of this report, a 5.2, with its epicenter about 20 miles south of Bakersfield. That's the strongest earthquake in California in 3 years. Aftershocks of that August 6th temblor registered seismic readings in the 4.0 magnitude that continued to prompt reactions from folks across the Victor Valley. Investigators from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, Gangs Narcotics Division, Rancho Cucamonga Station, San Bernardino County Probation Department, Homeland Security Investigations, California Highway Patrol, and the San Bernardino Police Department continued to conduct retail theft operations throughout San Bernardino County. Operation Smash and Grab. The recovery of these Matchbox toy cars, baseball cards, and other toys from Target has to do with a case of illegally substituting barcodes. More like erode the code than smash and grab. It involves thousands of dollars worth of merchandise stolen from Target stores in the area. An Adelanto man has been arrested after deputies found about $15,000 worth of goods, primarily toys, inside his home in Adelanto. Deputies first responded to the Target on Bear Valley Road in Apple Valley on July 30th, where employees reported seeing a man in the store who was suspected of thefts at Target locations throughout San Bernardino County. The man had left when the deputies arrived, but investigators soon identified the suspect and discovered he had also stolen from the same store 5 days earlier. Deputies obtained a search warrant and recovered over $15,000 of stolen merchandise. The suspect used an elaborate process where he would enter the store, cover the barcode on items with a fraudulent barcode, which greatly decreased the price he paid for items. The 40-year-old suspect was arrested on suspicion of possession of stolen property, which primarily consisted of Hot Wheels and Matchbox toy cars, as well as baseball cards and other toys. Identity theft anxiety is reaching pandemic proportions upon learning a massive amount of Social Security numbers and other sensitive information for millions of people could be in the hands of a hacking group following a data breach. Personal records of nearly 3 billion people may have been released on an online marketplace. The hacking group
USDOD claims it had allegedly stolen personal records of 2.9 billion people from national public data. The breach was believed to have happened on or about April of this year, according to a post from a cybersecurity expert on X. USDOD claims to be selling the 2.9 billion records on the dark web for $3.5 million. The National Public Database has personal records on people from the United States, England, and Canada. If you have concerns about your identity being stolen or personal records being hacked or has appeared on the dark web, there are a few steps you can take to prevent fraud or identity theft. Make sure your antivirus is up to date and perform security scans on all of your devices. If you find malware, most antivirus programs should be able to remove it, but in some cases, you may need professional help. Update your passwords for bank accounts, email accounts, and other services you use. Make sure they are strong and different for every account. Include uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and punctuation marks, and never use personal information that a hacker could guess. Use multi-factor authentication for any accounts or services that offer it to ensure you are the person logging in. Check your credit report and report any unauthorized use of your credit cards. If you notice any suspicious activity, you can ask credit bureaus to freeze your credit. Cybercrime is any criminal activity that either targets or uses a computer network, or a networked device. Most cybercrime is committed by cybercriminals or hackers who want to make money. However, occasionally, cybercrime aims to damage computers or networks for reasons other than profit. These could be political or personal. Types of cybercrime include email and internet fraud, identity fraud, theft of financial or card payment data, theft and sale of corporate data, cyber extortion, demanding money to prevent a threatened attack, soliciting, producing, or possessing child pornography. A phishing campaign is when spam emails or other forms of communication are sent with the intention of tricking recipients into doing something that undermines their security. Phishing campaign messages may contain infected attachments or links to malicious sites, or they may ask the receiver to respond with confidential information. Best advice regarding a text message having you disclose personal and confidential information: do not open a text message from a phone number you do not recognize, and never dial the telephone number from a phone message you do not recognize.
The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free homemaker services, transportation, and activities for seniors ages 60 and older with mobility challenges. Residents can join the group in its monthly shopping trips where they pick you up, take you home, and assist with lifting and carrying items. For more information or to reserve your seat on the bus, call 760-243-9646. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free mobility devices. Do you know a senior in need of a mobility device? The Victor Valley Community Services Council provides free wheelchairs, walkers, bedside commodes, canes, and more to those who qualify. The agency recently received a generous donation of wheelchairs from High Desert Second Chance. For more information, please call 760-243-9646. A website has been launched for First District news, events, and resources. The homepage is said to have everything a viewer needs at a glance, including a First District calendar, board meeting calendar and agendas, and contact information. The resources page shows tabs for helpful services, district activities, local chambers of commerce, and economic development links. The website is Americans with Disabilities Act compliant.
One of the county's latest campaigns is Opportunity Lives, Works, and Plays Here. This partnership between the Economic and Workforce Development Departments aims to assist businesses and nonprofits with hiring, relocating, and/or expansion free of charge. They also have an on-the-job training program that reimburses businesses with 50% of a new hire's hourly wage and training expenses for up to 3 months. San Bernardino County birth and death certificates are now available online. San Bernardino County's Vital Statistics Registration Office has launched a new service that allows residents to purchase certified copies of birth and death certificates online. Currently, the service is available for births and deaths that occurred in the past 2 years. Records for events older than 2 years can be obtained at San Bernardino County Hall of Records. Your help is being sought to clear our San Bernardino County shelters by adopting, not shopping. If you are looking for a new four-legged friend, the First District is home to several animal shelters with dogs and cats in need of loving homes. Local shelters include the Hesperia Animal Shelter on Santa Fe Avenue and the Apple Valley Animal Shelter on Powhatan Road. For more information, please call 760-240-7555. Nowadays, most people know general guidelines when it comes to service dog etiquette. Refraining from petting a service dog while they are working is an important rule, along with knowing that legitimate service dogs are allowed to accompany their owners nearly everywhere. However, one topic that's rarely discussed is the very real possibility that one of these animals may approach you without their owner. Knowing what this means and how to respond appropriately may mean the difference between life and death for a service dog handler. Service dogs are specifically trained to assist people with disabilities, including visual impairments, hearing impairments, mobility impairments, and mental disorders such as post-traumatic stress disorder. Besides assisting the owners with daily activities or alerting them to an impending medical crisis, a service dog fulfills another vital role: to seek assistance from an adult if their handler experiences a fall or medical emergency. Know the signs. A service dog that's seeking assistance from a stranger may use their nose to nudge your arm, leg, or hand. As tempting as it may be to give a quick scratch behind the ears and be on your way, stop and think. Cue the dog to help you locate their owner by asking what or where, or simply begin following the dog. If you ever see a service dog wandering without their owner, stop what you're doing and follow them. Situations that may cause a service dog to abandon their handler in search of help include a fall, like out of a wheelchair or otherwise, a seizure, a diabetic episode, an injury, or other medical emergency. The Bureau of Land Management has awarded 2 grants totaling almost $5 million to accelerate the training and placement of excess wild horses and burros into private care. These grants are part of the BLM's efforts to encourage more adopters to give a wild horse or burro a good home. The Adoption Incentive Program provides up to $1,000 to adopt an untrained wild horse or burro from the BLM. The goal of the program is to reduce BLM's recurring costs to care for unadopted and untrained wild horses and burros, while helping to enable the BLM to confront a growing overpopulation of wild horses and burros on fragile public rangelands. Thanks to its Adoption Incentive Program and the online corral, the BLM has doubled the rate of private care placement over the last 5 years. This special edition of TKOL is brought to you by Down Home Grill. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, or dine-in at Bid Fast and Less, world-class auctioneers.
Bradco's all-new quality truck body, family-owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest-standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Ewanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. We got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville, the Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley. That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.